All right, so let's just do some shaking just to wake up. Ooh, and just getting energy flowing. I kind of like play with my feet too, just kind of one up and then the other one. Just shake and then let's do the old knocking on the door of life from Qigong. Always really helpful. All right, and so let's just stand with our feet planted. Let me just change this so you can see a little lower. All right, so just plant our feet and let me see. Let's do some arm circles, but let's make it like the same kind of work that we do when we're doing our energy work and bringing the energy down from the heavens and then out, because that's the way that it flows. Our energy systems are a torus. Oops. Huh, I'm seeing that I'm not all the way in, but you can see it well enough, I think. All right, and then let's go the other way, which is bringing the energy up from the earth. I think I'm going to review my the old qigong recordings that I used to use because they were really really helpful. I think it may be the time to resurrect them. Okay, and let's just work our shoulders around, go back, and then just make it a little bit bigger. Just shrug it back. Starting from the shoulders, it's almost like bringing your wings back, opening them up, and then closing the wings, bringing them forward. Just feeling the way that your uh, arm is moving in relationship to your rib cage. It's pretty interesting if you think about it from that way. All right, and I'm going to do just one at a time. And then we're going to move that into a side bend. Ursa's getting bored or something. I don't know. you know, you know. And then maybe another side. I don't know. Maybe she wants to participate. I don't know what's happening here. All right. And then let's just do hips this time. You want to go outside? There you go. All right. Okay. Today, actually, for several days now, my shoulders have been really, really, really weird. So we're going to do some shoulder work up against the wall. Um, all right, and I feel like, let's see, what should we do with our legs? Let's go. Let's just move over into the wall work and we'll do a little bit of feet and legs later on. Okay. All right. So, what's happening with me? There's this whole structure up in here is very narrow. It's an area where there's a lot going on. There's a lot of muscles, there's a lot of tendons, there's just stuff. And so if you are using the wrong muscles, if you're using primarily the muscles of your shoulders, right, to do all of your tasks, if you're trying to pull only using those muscles, you can get yourself into real trouble. And what happens is these muscles here, your lats, which are, huge muscles, if they are not working, they kind of ride up a little bit and they squish everything together. And so like right now I lift my arm and it's actually painful because um my lats are not doing their job. So my new thing, I got to take off all my bracelets for this, is doing those wall slides pretty religiously. I'm going to start doing them every morning. Because this shoulder thing is, it's only occasional, so that's why I haven't like worked really really hard on it, but I think the time has come. All right, so we just got our shoulders leaning up against the wall. I would say that the feet are maybe about 6 inches from the wall. um my shoulders are resting, my rear end is not. Okay, and so first thing I'm going to do is just go into crucified position here and just try to see if you can get the entirety of your arm and your hands flat up against a wall. Now, I can do that on the left side um, here, but on the right side, that's the dysfunction is that's going on. And so it's not able to flatten out. So that's just kind of an observation. And I'm going to do a few wall angels instead of snow angels. And I'm just keeping as much of my arm as I possibly can on the wall, just kind of reminding your musculature, your motor programs, how they're supposed to be functioning. And then this time, let's go into cactus. And I'm remembering all of these silly names I had for these things when I was doing my boot camps. And first thing we're going to do is try to flatten our wrists. Mine have actually gotten really flat. I have some people who look like this. And then I'm going to press into the wall as hard as I can. And then I'm going to bring those hands all the way up. And as I'm doing it, I'm trying to be conscious of not just what's happening here, but making sure that the rest of me is participating in this. So we're just going to do that a few times. This seems like not very much, but it is a very, very powerful motion. And I think what's happening is it's helping the motor programs to just kind of change, because the way that our movements act, they're motor programs, right? It's not one movement, it's a series of movements together. That's the way that your brain packages these things. So if you get the wrong motor program in there, the wrong muscles are going to be firing, and your brain is just like, yeah, this is it. This is the motor program. So this is reminding it how it's supposed to be, and it's very slowly installing. Oh, nice. Uh, a good one in there. All right, so let's shake it out. All right, and now let's see what happens if we rest our butts up against a wall. And hmm, oh, that's interesting. Let's see how it feels different doing the wall angels versus when our rear ends were out. Now, what I'm observing is that if I'm not really careful, my rib cage wants to jut out to try to help. And so I have to be really conscious of making sure that it's not doing stuff it's not supposed to. Because what happens is if you have dysfunction, other parts of your body are going to try to compensate, and they will. Big muscles will start taking over for everything, and then your little muscles are not working. That's the problem that a lot of people have with their knees. They just don't have the little muscles supporting anymore. All right. Okay, and shake it out again. And I just want to see, I'm just feeling, do I feel that muscle there? Put my arms up. Can I retract? Can I bring my shoulders down by using those back muscles? We're just experimenting here. So it's no judgment. It's just like seeing what's working here. So I'm doing my best. It's really funny because my right side and my left side are completely different with this. So, wow, it's nuts. Okay. Um, so it's very interesting stuff. Okay. All right. So let's do just a little bit to open up our chests. Because one of the features of bad posture is that your chest kind of caves in. So the trick here is you do want to have your shoulders back, right? You want to have good posture. But the way that people generally have good posture is they stick their rib cages out. And you can see this. I mean, gymnasts do it because it's part of their routine, but a lot of people do it because they think that it's good posture. And it most definitely is not. So let's just stand. Boy, I wish that I had a better angle here. Um, so let's just stand head over shoulders, over hips, over knees, over feet, just doing our very best to be in that straight line. At some point, we're going to get like a string with a rock or some weight on the end of it, and we can hold it up to ourselves in the mirror and make sure that that is working. But I don't have that equipment right now. So just making sure that my head is back. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to play with our arm position. Now, what happens when everything is hunched over? These muscles tighten up massively. And so, what happens is your arm, which is supposed to be essentially with your palms more or less forward, right? What happens is these muscles tighten up and they bring it in to internal rotation, right? And this is a lot of people, if you ask them to stand looking straight ahead, this is what you're going to see, is that their palms are very, very squarely pointing backwards. So what I want you to do is let's just open our chest a few times. Ooh, that felt really good. Do the same thing with the toroidal motion. And then what we're going to do is play with this arm position. First thing we're going to do is internally rotate them because they kind of want to do that anyway. Let's see. So internal, internal, just feeling the bone. And try to make the motion coming from here and not here. All right. So internal, internal. Okay. We know what that feels like because that's how we are usually. And let's do external rotation. So we're moving from the shoulder, try to keep this part not involved. And we're just going to roll it out, doing our very best to keep ourselves from arching. Okay. We're keeping this whole structure from, you don't want to be arching your back. All right. Let's just do that a few times. And when you first start doing this, it might feel really super tight, might not feel tight. You might feel tendons popping, right? That's what I feel in my dysfunctional shoulder. And it's okay. It's not good, but it's okay. One of the things that I just did is I made sure that my lats were firing. because, oh, that's much better. Because I don't get that popping sound if my back is doing its work. Okay. And let's just go. Now we are going to arch. Let's go all the way back. And then just gently, gently, gently go forward. Hypermobile people, do not lock your legs out. All others can have straight legs and you can't see anything at all, but I am doing a forward fold. And I am going to just allow myself to hang. And just rocking back and forth a little bit. See if you can get well your hands closer to the ground. Feel the difference in those hips? Like totally different with me. Then let's roll up and just try to do it real slowly, just stacking the vertebrae one on the other all the way up. Nice. And now let's just do some feet and legs. All right, switch back. Now, oh, I ruined my glasses. These glasses, it's like I'm just attracted to danger. Okay. All right, so I am going to just start with the basics. So, what my feet feel like today is let's do ballerina foot first. I feel like I need to, oops, and ooh, that feels really good today. Um, I'm doing big toe, just stretching it as far as I possibly can. There we go. And again, if you're not hypermobile, don't worry about what your foot looks like. Just do the motion, and it's probably way more normal than mine is, to be perfectly honest. All right, and let's just roll back and forth. Whew, big toe. I have pretty much that whole thing that I was complaining about the adhesions in there. I have pretty much gotten rid of it. It no longer hurts. It's really nice. All right, and I'm just going to do a little wiggle wiggle, big toe by itself, and then little toes by themselves. And I just want to stretch it back again. Ooh, all right. Now other foot. And big toe. I don't know what the deal is, but today this feels really good to stretch the top of my foot. No clue why. And then I was wearing like all different sorts of shoes during the rain. So I discovered that I only have one pair of shoes that's actually waterproof. It's pathetic. Whew. Okay, back and forth. And then maybe that's what it is. I think I need to go to the beach today. All right. Big toe, just rolling it all the way out, rolling it forward. There we go. Hmm. And I have had several instances recently, okay, wiggle big toe, where I tripped. And if I had not been working on my ankles, I would have really hurt myself. Okay, and then little toes. Ursa's so big. My big toe tries to get involved with this one. Ursa's so big that I have got to have flexible ankles because she pulls me all over the place. All right, and then oof. Another stretch there. And then let's do our figure four seated. And while we do that, please don't mind, this is why we don't have white socks. Let's just do a little bit of self massage, do that ballet foot. See if you can just kind of pull all those toes in, just like they're scrunched up inside of a point shoe, which is horrible. And just little massage here, a little crack. I got a little crack from my big toe. All right, and then we are going to just sit up straight and then go forward. All right, so depending on what's happening with your body, you're going to have different things happening. The target of this one generally is, piriformis, which is one of the little muscles in your butt. But I find that this stretches, not just that, but also all the glute muscles and also the back. And so just, try to get just a little bit more space there. You can wiggle around. You don't have to be static in these positions unless it hurts, to wiggle them around. But I do that just to find, places where it might be a little bit tighter. And then deep breath. And then just let yourself relax down. Hang your head. Deep breath. If you can relax it down just a tiny bit. How far is your torso from your thighs? Nice. Okay, and then bring yourself up. You can use your hands if you want to. If you got back issues, you might want to. All right, and then let's do the other side. Okay. I didn't do this with the other side, but let's just put the knee down a little bit. Try to get some space up in here. And then I'm just gonna do just a little bit of massage. I swear my little toes were just completely tortured my whole life because they're totally changing position and shape. It's really funny. All right. Ooh, boy, oh boy. All right. And then just lining myself up and then going forward. Ooh, see on this side, it's very different. On the other side, it is all glute piriformis. This one, it is more up in here, honestly, because this hip is more functional, but the spine on that side is a little funky. So again, we're not judging these things or anything. We're just observing them because they change day to day. And then relax down. Oh. See, on this side, I'm don't judge yourself based on this, but my torso is completely on my thighs. The other side, it wasn't. And the only person you're competing against is yourself from yesterday. It's the only thing. All right, let's see if anything else wants to get done. You know, this one's really good for relieving back pressure sometimes. You can just reach down, put your arms around your thighs as best as you can. So that's a nice one to do at your desk. All right. Well, thank you for coming. We will be reconvening on Thursday.